'cause you're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever bring you down, 'cause you're the best around. Hey everyone, welcome to another ranking. Welcome to my ranking of all 5 of the Karate Kid movies. Yes, Karate Kid. I grew up with Karate Kid. I love the Karate Kid. The first one. But still, I grew up with this whole, 3-movie franchise trilogy and stuff, but then I found there was a 4th one, then they made a remake. But, I've always loved Karate Kid, and I always loved watching it as a kid and stuff, and I always loved the sequels, but now, I just recently rewatched the whole thing, all 5 of these movies just the other week, to see if they all still hold up. The first one I know, because I watch the first one every year, but I haven't seen the sequels and the remake in quite some time, so I just rewatched them all last week, just so I could do this ranking, and yeah, my opinions of a lot of them have changed, so let's get to it. Here's my ranking of all 5 of the Karate Kid movies, from my least favorite to my favorite. Let's get started. Coming in number 5 is the next Karate Kid, 1994. Yes, this has returns Mr. Miyagi, played by Pat Morita, and this has a new Karate Kid, not Daniel. This has a female Karate Kid, played by Hilary Swank, and yeah, she's a high school student dealing with her problems, and she wants to be trained by Mr. Miyagi to do karate and stuff, stand up for herself, and all that kind of shtick, and it's unwatchable. This is a movie that's the definition of cringy and unwatchable. Just like Mr. Miyagi, Pat Morita was always the best thing about all these movies. Even the bad sequel Karate Kid movies, he's always the best thing. He can't even make this script work. He spouts out really bad exposition and really corny inspirational dialogue, and it's pretty cringy. Hilary Swank. This is not a $1 Million Baby, boys don't cry kind of acting in this film. She is pretty fucking terrible in this movie. And there's ninjas in this movie. There's really stupid, ridiculous 90s bullies in the film. And it's not a good movie. It doesn't have good humor. It doesn't have a good story. The message is there, but it's very half-assed, and it's very corny and cheesy. And not in a cool, fun way like a lot of 80s films. This is just a cringy, awful, unwatchable film, and easily the worst of the franchise. Coming in number 4 is The Karate Kid Part 3. Yes, 1989, The Karate Kid Part 3. It's this year also had Indiana Jones 3, Last Crusade, a better 3rd installment film. Karate Kid 3 is a really bad film. This ruins, some of the characters that we all know and love. Daniel. I love, Daniel Sutton. He's so good. I love Ralph Macchio and stuff. He gives an okay performance, I guess, in this movie, but what they do with this character, he is so unlikable and so freaking rude and mean to Mr. Miyagi in this movie. I fucking hated him in some scenes. Oh my god, what a fucking brat. And he, chooses to have another teacher. He chooses to have another teacher in this movie, have a Cobra Kai teacher and stuff, and yeah, he basically teaches him how to defend himself in the wrong ways and stuff, and how violence is the key to, standing up for yourself. Not karate here, not karate here. Karate here, not karate here. Just the very old, wise Miyagi sayings and stuff. None of that is in this movie, and I didn't like it. I found it too unlikable. I found it kind of boring. It really drags, and it ruins some of the likability of these characters that we all know and love. Pat Morita is the only thing that makes this movie watchable, but all in all, the film, it's not good. Coming in number 3 is The Karate Kid 2010. The Kung Fu Kid 2010, because there's no karate in this movie. Why is it called The Karate Kid? I have no fucking idea. Yes, I know it's called The Karate Kid because it's a remake, it's got the same story and stuff, but he doesn't learn karate. Why didn't they just call it The Kung Fu Kid? It's a stupid title, yes, but it's more of an accurate title than The Karate Kid because he doesn't learn karate in this movie. The movie isn't bad. When this movie first came out, I was ready to shit on it. I was ready to pan the shit out of this movie. I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't want to see it in theaters, but I did see it when it came out and I rented it. It wasn't that bad. And now watching it a week ago, I haven't seen it since 2010. It's not bad, actually. It's not a great movie, but it's not bad. Jaden Smith he tries, but he's not that great of a protagonist. He's not like Daniel. This character, Dre, I get it, he's being bullied and stuff, and like he does have emotional moments, but I don't know. They could have found a better actor to play the character Dre, not Jaden Smith. I never found Jaden Smith a very talented actor, and he really doesn't show his chops very well in this movie. Taraji P. Henson as his mother, that was a good choice. She was really good in this movie. I like Taraji P. Henson. The show stealer was Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan as Mr. Han is such a good character and portrayed by a great actor, Jackie Chan. That was the only thing I looked forward to seeing this movie when it first came out. I'm like, oh, Jackie Chan, I love Jackie Chan. He is easily the best movie. He is such a wise master and teacher and stuff. Even the way he teaches Dre Kung Fu is really cool and stuff. Very wax on, wax off-esque. And he also has a very tragic past, like he lost his family and stuff, and he blames himself for it. It's actually some pretty hard-hitting emotional stuff, and yeah. The bullies in this movie aren't as good as the original, but they're effective as well. The movie does drag a little bit. It's a 2.5-hour film. It shouldn't have been that long, but I liked learning the history of Kung Fu and and the culture, the Chinese culture and stuff. That was really interesting. And there's some really good investing things and really interesting things, mostly with Jackie Chan, but I thought it was a decent flick. There are a few things I don't like about this movie. Like, I don't like Jaden Smith's performance. I don't really like his romance in the movie as well. Like, it's not as good as, like, Ralph Macchio, Elizabeth Shue's romance in the original. In the movie, this movie is a bit drawn out at times. It doesn't have that spirit and that charm like the original film, but for what it is, The Kung Fu Kid is an okay film, and it's pretty decent and way better than those shitty Karate Kid sequels, so it's not half bad. Conan number 2 is The Karate Kid Part 2. Yes, 1986, I think this movie came out. 1986. I actually don't mind this movie. This is actually a pretty damn good sequel to The Karate Kid. I always loved this movie as a kid, but now as an adult, I still think it still kind of holds up. I like the story about them. They have to go to like Japan and stuff because Mr. Miyagi's father's dying. Then Mr. Miyagi finds a past love interest. And then Daniel has a love interest too with the girl's niece and stuff. Like, there's some pretty good romances that do work and stuff. Then it ends with this really cool badass fight scene in the cave and stuff at the ending, which is really cool and stuff. And the stakes are pretty high in this movie, and again, Ralph Macchio and Pat Morita have chemistry. I like their relationship, this student-teacher relationship, and I really bought their friendship in this movie, just like I did the first one, and it's a really good movie. I thought it was a worthy sequel. I don't like how they kind of half-assed Elizabeth Shue's character out of the movie, out of the franchise, but I still think it does work, and I think it's a worthy sequel. And my number one favorite Karate Kid movie is obviously the original 1984 Karate Kid. Amazing film, really good. Everything about this movie is just so awesome. Everything about it screams 1980s, like the soundtrack and everything. But it's so good. Ralph Macchio's so great. This is a movie about bullying and stuff, about standing up for yourself because he's getting picked on by Johnny, the leader of the Cobra Kais. Really good. Probably one of the great classic movie bullies in film is Johnny. Just so good. The Cobra Kais. The villains in this movie are just so over the top and so fucking 80s. Freaking love the Cobra Kais. I love them in this movie. And I love the character Daniel. And I like his relationship with Elizabeth Shue. I bought their relationship. And I love his student-teacher relationship with Mr. Miyagi in this film. Mr. Miyagi, Pat Morita, is so good. He was nominated for a performance in this movie, and so good. Man can catch fly, and man can accomplish anything. The chopstick scene, so good. I love the classic way to teach him how to block in karate, with the wax on, wax off, paint the fence, paint the house, so fucking great. Sandneck floors, so good. Everything about this movie I love. It's so good. Is it flawed? Of course, but I love it still. I love the story. It's a good story about standing up for yourself. It's a good story about bullying and about karate and how he learns karate and stuff. Karate, yeah, and yeah. So good. Everything about this movie, the lessons Mr. Miyagi teaches them is just so great. Yes, the remake did try to have the same spirit, but it didn't quite work. This just has this certain charm and this certain 80s spirit to it, and I absolutely love it. And Karate Kid, loved it as a kid, love it still to this day, and yeah, it's so good. So yeah, that was my ranking of all 5 of the Karate Kid movies in my opinion, from my least favorite to my favorite. So in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this ranking? If not, give me you guys a ranking of all 5 Karate Kid movies in your guys' opinion, from your least favorite to your favorite. Comment below, let me know. And as always for this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.